Well, hello there, everybody. It's Tuesday morning. We've got some snow in Casper. It's the 3rd of October, so everything's normal. I just wanted to get a hold of most of you. I'm hoping that this is a pretty good way to communicate with all of you. And it has to do with something I'm going to launch into the classroom for those of you that are online and for those that are in class as well. But for the most part, I think the benefit will be for you online. We're going to put some virtual office hours. I've selected Monday evening for that type of thing. We're going to start out with an hour, see if people participate, and see where they're at. I'd like to have your feedback on that starting next week. So let me know, and possibly you can give me a little bit of feedback. I know that the assignments, because of popularity, I have them due on Sunday. I don't mind answering your questions over the weekend, although I want you to understand that sometimes I'm not going to be available on weekends. So waiting until the weekend to attempt these assignments can have dire consequences. Some of you have said, "Well, I work all week," and I understand that. I really do. And it is what it is sometimes. Um, so email for you might be a fairly good way to do that. I have the feeling that some of you try to squeeze it into just a short while. You should be spending at least twice as much time out of the classroom as you do in the classroom. And I know you're online, so that doesn't mean a lot. But so that means you ought to be spending at least 3 to 4 hours for each class period that we would generally have. For this class, it would be 3 hours a week we meet in the classroom. So, you do the math. 9 to 12 hours a week for this class is not inherent. It's very doable. I know you're busy. You got families. You've got your jobs and things like that. I would hope that you would attempt things before you get to the weekends in most cases. You will find yourself in a bind if you don't. That's just been teaching for a long time, and I see that. And also, just want to let you know, and I'm not using this. I'm here. That's my job. I want to help you. But I also want you to know that I'm a person too. I've got 3 little grandkids that I dearly love and like to spend some time with them. And at this point in my life, unless you really, 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 it's a life or death situation, I'm going to choose them over you at this point. Just the reality of it. And I hope if you get in the situation I'm in that you would do the same thing. So again, Monday nights, might try 7 o'clock to start out and see how that goes. Give me your feedback. Another little point about emails, and some of you are beginning to ask small questions. That's okay, but then it ends up being a conversation, and at any time I can break loose and I'm gone. So it's not a conversation anymore. Email is a really, really awful way to communicate. I have always said, and I've said this earlier in this class, but if you didn't get that message, is give me a call. That's the most effective way for you to communicate with me. A question leads to a question leads to a question, and I understand that. So, I mean, email's really, really good for if you need one thing and it doesn't take long for the other person to communicate that from their side. But emailing me with a question after question after question is really not it's not a very effective way to use it. And there's other more effective ways, telephone in your case. So anyway, I'm glad to help you. I really am. We might have to just tinker with a little bit, and we can do that. Later in the week doesn't work real well for me. Maybe later in the semester, if that's something that the students would like to see, we'll talk about that. I'd really love your comments. So have a good day. Study up. Get your homework done. This week's chapter 2, just finishing up. Make sure your trial balances match up with the trial balance I provide. It's the same one that's in the book. A couple of you have asked that. You can look at it. I can look at it. It's the same one. That's not necessary. And I wish you all the best. So as we continue down this road of record keeping for agriculture.